This video is brought to you by YouTube. Not directly, but you know.
On the first day of Advent, the big God came to see. One tragic car crash, 4 broken legs, and a timeline of arsenic spree.
I know it's not December or July, but it's not really about Christmas, and with the time-distorting effects of the pandemic, who cares? Every year, while most of the world is hanging stockings by the chimney with care, others are busy eating, drinking, sacrificing, enjoying winter solstice, and watching a ghostly procession in the winter sky take place, the Wild Hunt. Sometimes led by Odin and his hunting dogs, which he swaps out with birds when they get dead dog tired, other times by King Arthur, Old Nick, and any one of the other lesser known and thus less important figureheads. After the hunt was rebranded as the Yule, we got the Yule log, a special log, Yule boar, special ham, Yule singing, special carols, and most importantly, the Yule goat, the inspiration behind Yavli goat. The first little piggy built his house out of stakes, the second little piggy built his house out of bricks, and the third little piggy built his house out of straw because it was the easiest thing to do. The third little piggy was actually the people of Gävle, Sweden, and they weren't building a house, they were building a goat. While it's easy to mistake the goat for the even more famous Trojan horse, not the virus variety, the one that was used to smuggle Greeks into Troy. The Trojan horse may look similar to the Yavli goat, but their similarities don't stop there. Just like horses, people bet on this goat. Unlike horses though, they bet on whether this goat's going to get burnt or not. Why build this goat? Why does it get burned to the ground so often? What's this goat made of? How big is it? How long does it take to make? What are your chances of winning bets on the goat's survival? Is the bet on how many times it got burnt? Whether attempts were made even if they failed? Destruction of any kind? How quickly it got burned, or all of the above? Data from this spreadsheet of events tells us the chances of the goat not being attacked at all is 25%. Surviving in spite of someone attempting something is 6%. Being destroyed in any way, shape, or form is 13%. Being burned is 56%. Feel free to leave a comment with any other findings that you've made. On to the stats. It's F tier. Height 42 feet. Length 23 feet. Weight 8,000 pounds. Materials 1 truckload of straw, locally sourced from the nearby village of Macmoira. 56 straw mats, each 16.5 square feet, form the straw coat. 4,000 feet of Swedish pine create the wooden skeleton. 5,000 feet of rope. 12,000 knots. Thousands of human hours building it. Horses are not the only thing that we can compare with the goat for the semi-educational entertainment value. Santa, invented by Coca-Cola according to their website, but that's a story for another day. Even though he's a sworn enemy of the goat, they share a similar past. The same undercover content marketing igniting Coca-Cola's idea was the kindling for Slottstorget, Castle Square, a city in central Gävle, Sweden's bottom line, attracting customers to the shops and restaurants. In other words, the goat is a small town's publicity stunt to drive tourism. Oh, and the Yule goat delivers presents. So back in the day, old Saint Nick would ride the goat instead of a sleigh. This relationship, as with most things related to this goat, have gone through a lot of change over time. The goat has a long history, unlike my YouTube, so I'll just leave the dates in a scrolling timeline at the end of the video and quickly gloss over the coolest surface level details that happened over the last half a century. To defend the goat from all his enemies, the goat needed a fence. Humble beginnings saw a wooden fence which became chicken wire netting, replaced by a 6.5-foot high metal fence, placing it in wall territory, which got doubled like a rainbow into 2 fences, not in an all the way across the sky type of way. Behind the walls was a guard, which was doubled just like the fence. Volunteers, Swedish TV hosts, the Swedish Home Guard, soldiers from the Gävle 14th Infantry Regiment, and a canine unit. Above the walls sit security cameras and live streaming webcams. His flammable straw has been fireproofed and soaked in water, which in Sweden during December is basically instant ice. Before you think this is a formidable defense, remember the betting odds. People have still climbed the goat Thieves have failed to steal it using helicopters, only missing the mark because the guard wouldn't accept a bribe to leave. Yet, it was successfully stolen using less complicated means across multiple occasions. During one of those times, they drowned it in a nearby river. The goat was joined by an advertising sled, but that turned out to be illegally built, so it had to start again from scratch in Stockholm. Its legs have been broken, it's gotten kicked to pieces, and had a car crash into it. It has been shot with fireworks and burnt down, doused in petrol and burnt down, broken into itty-bitty pieces and burnt down. A major blizzard stormed around the town and it burnt down. It was burned down while security cameras were DDoSed by hackers, which is pretty much repeatedly hitting refresh on a bunch of computers at the same time, so the device becomes so slow that it's useless. It has been burnt down during construction, hours after completion, and rarely escaped without a scratch. When it's burnt down, if you've been naughty, they won't rebuild it. If you've been nice, they build another one. This repeats itself all the way up to 4 times: building, burning, rebuilding, burning, rebuilding. If you're extra nice, they've been known to rebuild it with reeds. The live stream was hacked and the words "burn the goat" were shown instead of the webcam video. Santa Claus visited with his friend, the gingerbread man, and brought gifts: a burning arrow, which he shot at the goat, and it burnt down. Tom Scott visited the goat for its 50th birthday and it burnt down hours after he left. I'm not saying those two things are related, but it makes you think. The goat has earned its place in the Guinness Book of Records for how many times it has been burnt down. Well, actually, the record is for its size, not the burning. There are memorials held for the goat when it burns down. Memorable events where it was not on fire include the time it followed the Swedish hockey team to Italy and the 2006 survival, after which it was stored in a secret location where it remains even today. It was dressed in a flower coat and paraded around the Chinese town of Zhuhai, where it was visited by 420,000 people. During the goat's stay in Gävle each year, the goat writes in its blog, tweets, and posts on Instagram. Feel free to fire off a message, hit him up. I mean, what you do is on you. If you have questions that weren't answered in this video, there is a Gävle spokesperson and their contact information is in the description down below, along with the links to the goat stream and our website, which has further resources. If you don't want to be burnt down like the Gävle goat, increase your survival chances by being armed with valuable information only attainable by subscribing to our channel. Okay, bye.